Today I'll be speaking on overcoming low self-esteem. I am Pastor Steve Onaji. I'll be speaking on issue of self-esteem. Um, Self-esteem could also mean self-image. There are three major kinds of self-esteem. We have low self-esteem, we have overrated self-esteem, and we have good self-esteem. Even though our focus today is on the low self-esteem, we have low self-esteem, we have that is poor self-image, poor self-perception. Overrated is what the people call pride, right? But there is on that side to pride that it could be a defensive mechanism for masking one's low self-esteem. Then we have good self-esteem. I'll try to see how we can encapsulate that into these, but my focus is on low self-esteem. 7 things I want to look into are the symptoms of low self-esteem. Symptoms of low self-esteem. One of them is lack of social skills. Lack of social skills. In my mentorship, leadership, diplomat academy, one of the courses is people skills or soft skills that has to do with understanding how to manage people. Low self-esteem is one of the deficiencies that we experience in social skills. One of the poor social skills attributes, so to speak. Lack of social skills. When you have difficulty in associating with people, sometimes these people are called low rangers. They have this belief that they are not good enough to associate with people. They can be in an association, in an organization, in an office, in a fellowship, and they don't relate with anyone, right? And sometimes it's because of the belief system, internal weakness, where they see themselves as not being good enough to relate with other people. They just believe that people don't want their association. Is a deficiency. Lack of social skills, right? It's a feeling. It's a feeling. So it's a perception too. So instead of being intentional about growing in your people skill, you just feel incapacitated. So there are times that people begin to naturalize it and say that I don't like, my kind does not relate with people, not knowing that actually it's a weakness. Low self-esteem. You are good enough. People want you. People need you. Not just even wanting you, they need you in their lives. You are needed. You need to know about that. I need to tell you early that self-esteem is good at its core self. That means you are the one to by yourself build it. If you are a Christian, there's another way to that. Building from the word of God by the help of the Spirit. But or in a basic way of approaching this, self-esteem. It's not people esteem. You're not expecting people to build your esteem, self-esteem. Number 2 thing you need to understand about the symptoms of this is the unnecessary self-consciousness, right? Unnecessary self-consciousness, where you are too conscious about your appearance. So when they are walking, they are looking at themselves. Am I sure this clothes is good enough? Am I sure my shoes are okay? When people are laughing, they just believe that people are laughing at them. This unnecessary self-consciousness. These people, they are people driven. They feel good because people say so. Have you ever experienced this? That you met someone and someone looks at you and say, you are looking fresh, oh. You are looking fresh, oh. You are enjoying, They feel, minutes from that, you meet someone else and the person is telling you, are you sick? Why are you looking bad now? What is wrong with you? The same you. You don't trust people's sight. You don't trust people's sight. It's about your sight. What do you see? What can you see? Who are you? You are so conscious of your deficiencies, right? So you are. When you perform, you are looking at people's eyes. What are they thinking about you? This is not healthy at all. And I know I just like to pause to think, because I know at certain points, everyone would have had to deal with this. At a certain point, we have to deal with that. This is not right. In fact, when I first get to know about this self-esteem matter, I got to know about it. I like, are you sure? Are you sure? I am not dealing with this. You are not even fair to yourself. Even when you do powerfully, you have a way of judging yourself unnecessarily, right? Good. The third one is self-defense in a conversation. Self-defense in a conversation. So you believe people people are against you in a conversation. So you are always at the defensive side. In fact, when you are sharing something, you have already incapacitated other people from sharing their opinions. You have incapacitated them. Have you ever had discussion with people that have very poor conversational skills? Just to pass their ideas, they have incapacitated everyone. They have shared how that you don't even have a say in this talk. They have finished you. You know, they have used all derogatory terms at you. Now, when they are done, you don't have a say anymore. You don't have a say anymore. And if you are like that, I want to know that you have very poor low self-esteem, where you don't have a healthy perception about you. You don't believe you could be wrong, and still, does someone tell you are wrong and you are still fine? Are you getting this now? And I need to also be adding this, because this thing is a full course on its own. This does not mean that people will begin to talk down on you, because people you trust have so much power on your self-esteem. You get this right? They have so much power on your self-esteem. They can, if you give people power over yourself, and I know you understand what I mean. What they say mean a lot to you. If you're in a relationship with a guy, what that guy says has a lot to do with you. Some of us have low self-esteem because of what our parents say. Their perception about you, their declarations over your life. They have power because of the role they play in your life. They are stakeholders in your life. But when you have negative stakeholders in your life, you have to protect your heart against them. You don't accept everything they say. That there are times you have to fight. Say, no, that is not me. That is not true. That is not true. Right? But you also need to be very sure that you are not just, being defensive from the angle of insecurity. You are being insecure. You can't stand correction. So you are always defensive. It's a sign of low self-esteem, because you don't even believe you can have a sound conversation. And that also springs from your premeditated perception of yourself, that people don't believe you are intelligent. They don't believe you have an idea that is worth being listened to. So because of that, you have lost grounds for negotiation. Nobody can negotiate a conversation, one idea with you. Do you understand exactly what I'm saying now? So sometimes you just let people talk, and people say, oh, I don't think what you are saying is right. And say, wow, let me hear from you. What do you think about what I'm saying? Then you have a very, it's a healthy dialogue without, argument. And I speak argument in the sense that, unhealthy argument. You get what I'm saying now? So this is very important. Number 4. Extreme sensitivity to others' opinions. Extreme sensitivity to others' opinions. When you have become too sensitive, these things are very connected. You will notice that they are very connected to each other, but they have slight differences. You are extremely sensitive. You get angry easily over what you should not be angry about, right? You get angry over what you should be angry about. People have to apologize ahead before they speak to you. Are you getting me now? And I need to also say this, that there are people who don't know how to talk. You just know this. They don't know how to talk. Like somebody wants to talk to you and say, please, I'm sorry for what I want to say. I'm sorry for what I want to say. And it's insult. They want to insult you like that. Be careful of such people. Those are not the people I'm talking about. I'm talking about when you are angry about or about what you shouldn't be angry about. When people are joking, before you know, you are the one that is fighting. You are fighting, and everybody is careful with you. When you are coming and people are joking and laughing, they tell you be careful. Be careful. It's already coming. You have a problem, my friend. You need to seek help. You are too sensitive, right? You are too sensitive. When someone says see your head, the first thing you are thinking of, you are not. When someone says see your head, it could be that he say your head is amazing, but the next thing you think about is, well, okay, well, I say my head is bad. Now, even you have concluded on your own destiny and your own life. You have concluded on your own life, right? When someone asks you, "Are you crazy?" It's a question. I am not. I am not crazy, right? Or I'm crazily amazing. So my God, healthy self-esteem is amazing. You'll be a very good person to relate with. I'm telling you, people, things that should get you angry will not get you angry. You just move on with your life. It's something we need to intentionally work on, right? Something we have to intentionally work on. People will be free around us. It will help you know how to accept corrections, right? You don't have to always be countering people in a conversation because you want to protect your opinions and not trying to talk down on other people's opinion to prove superiority of opinions. If you are always trying to prove superiority of opinion, it shows you have some measure of low self-esteem, because you can't have a healthy dialogue. You can't have a healthy dialogue. Do you understand what I'm saying? Number 5, inability to accept praise. This one is, you may not even believe this part of it. Inability to accept praise. Someone looks at you and say you are looking good. You say forget it, you are just trying to yab me. Who told you they are yabbing you? If the thing suits you, accept it. This is, people, when people wear some pseudo humility. The funny thing is that, this is something I noticed about these people. Now, they claim not to accept praise, but fight against whoever ignores them. When you claim not to want to accept praise, but you fight whoever refuses to praise you. You are a very delicate person to deal with. Someone looks at you and say, "Wow, that was a powerful performance, a very amazing delivery." Then you say, "Forget it. You are just trying to tease me." Who told you they are trying to tease you? Don't you believe you are amazing? Don't you believe you are? You should accept it. Accept it. Somebody said, if you say good things about me, and when it's true, I'll accept it. Yes, I'm good. Yes, I'm amazing. Yes, I'm a blessing. It's not pride. It is identification of your uniqueness. Identification of your uniqueness. If someone tells you are beautiful, you don't even need to be blushing. Yes, I know. Amazing. Thank you for, when you are thanking the person, you are thanking the person for growing himself or herself to know how to identify beauty. You are, wow, what a good sight. You know that, wow, because not everybody can identify virtue. To have identified virtues, oh, amazing. Yeah. See, no matter who you are, people talk down on you. Even as, in case you think when you become a president, people will, you see, you'll be shocked. If you see small boys insulting president, you know that you can't escape being insulted in this life. You can't escape it. There's no way you get to in this life that nobody can. See, even if you are a tyrant, people will still hide it to insult you. Get used to it, my friend. Get used to it. I have been looked down upon several places, and I know that they look down on me because they don't know me. If you know me, you can't. That you look down on me is that you lack certain information. It's good self-esteem. I'm not someone to be looked down upon. Humility is not humiliation. I need to know this. It's not humiliation. Or you stay in a place they refuse to admit your presence. Or it's because they don't understand how to identify a great man. How to identify a great woman. Listen, don't spend your life trying to change what is not changeable because you are not very tall. You're not very tall. You now say, hey, the world is looking down on you. Who told you are down? Anyone taller than you is too tall. Anyone shorter than you is too short. God, see, your design is God's desire. God's desire is what sponsored God's design. So he looked at you and said, it's just like Paul in the Bible. God looked at him and said, this guy, a time will come in his life, they have to put him in a basket to save his life for his purpose. And God has to make sure he's not too tall. If he was as tall as I am, he would have died before his time. You see now, if you are very tall, it's because there's something God wants you to see that is far. If you are not very tall, it could be that there is something down here that people cannot see. Now, no, are you getting me now? That God wants you to see. All of us, this world will be so terrible if all of us are very tall. It's so terrible if all of us are very not very tall. Are you getting what I'm saying now? So whatever, don't change. You just imagine me now, because I've met people, for instance, who have to tease me for being fair. Can you imagine that? Should I go and rob Shako? I've seen people that have to tease me for being fair. I have met people that have to tease me for being tall. I have met different kinds. So I have to grow to know that actually the problem is not with me. The problem is with them. They don't know how to manage diversities and peculiarities. They don't know how to. So anyone that doesn't look like them, they begin to tease the person. And are you getting me now? So I'm saying this so you know that this is self-esteem. It's about you first, right? And you learn to accept praise. Learn to accept praise. When people encourage you, accept them. Sometimes people feel flat. With someone that has low self-esteem, he feels, when people praise him, he feels they are flattering him, even though he's flattered. Even though he's flattered. So he says, oh, don't flatter me. Accept this thing in good faith, right? Okay, good. Number six. One of the symptoms of low self-esteem is being habitually critical of others' views. Habitually critical of others' views, other people's views. When you are always critical, you don't believe others are right. This one now is very popular now. I'm so dazed how people see fault in what is obviously right. It's amazing in this negative sense, right? These people always have something opposite to say, even when there's nothing to say. They always have to add a point to other people's views, even if there is nothing else to add. You get what I'm saying now? When in a discussion there's a place, there's something else we need to add to this. Even when there's nothing to add, they just feel they are not good enough for just accepting others do the whole talk and share their own views. They always want to add more. They always want to add something. So sometimes they ignore other people's views to begin to hit on their personalities. For instance, in a discussion or in a dialogue, they will just ignore the idea or the subject matter to begin to hit on people directly. They don't know how to separate personalities from ideas. So they feel comfortable having others talk down on. They derive their self-esteem from having others being degraded. These are symptoms of low self-esteem. Deal with it. And one of the ways you deal with that, if I want the signs of having a good self-esteem, is that you know how to talk good about people. Like, oh, this man is amazing, this lady is amazing. Learn to say good things about people. I'm telling you, it's an antidote to low self-esteem. Talk good about people without feeling low. And there's a connection between these and symptoms of envy. Please go and watch that when I was speaking on envy. Right? Number 7, helplessly clinging on relationships. They derive their self-esteem from hanging on people. They are becoming even nuisance. And when people begin to feel their space are being encroached into and they are beginning to push them aside, they start feeling more low in their esteem. They begin to feel more low self-esteem, so to speak. A lot of people have their space. You must not hang on people. You must not hang on people, right? Don't try to derive your self-esteem from people's acceptance of you. Can you be independent? So some of these kind of people, when they have breakup in a relationship, they always believe it's their fault. So they believe they are not good enough. They believe, this person broke up with me. This person broke up with me because I am not tall enough, because I'm not smart enough, because I'm so. It's even worse when somebody leaves you and joins himself or herself to someone that appears to be better than you. At such point, if you have very low self-esteem, you begin to see yourself as, I think you were not even good for that person in the first place. There is someone who needs your kind. If you are slim, someone needs your kind. If you are fat, someone needs you. Fat in the sense that you have more body, right? I don't want to use that in a negative term. Somebody needs your kind. If you are very tall, if you are not very tall, someone needs your kind. Are you getting me now? Be grateful when people leave you. Of course, especially when it's not your fault. It is a sign that God is creating space to bring in the right people. You must not always be very harsh on yourself to begin to feel because you are not good enough. That is why people are looking down on you. If you have low self-esteem, anytime, in a situation where, when you find yourself in a situation where there's a committee and they did not add you, you start feeling, is it that I'm not good enough? No, you don't have time for every committee. You can't be in every committee, as a matter of fact. You have other things you are doing. I have been in places where they've set committees and I'm not in one. And I'm grateful because if I join that committee, I won't be in the committee I'm supposed to be part of. I won't have the time for the things I'm supposed to be doing. Right? You have to be very focused. You have to be very intentional. And you have to understand the peculiarity of yourself and God's investment in your life. And the greatest way to grow your self-esteem is growing it from the Word of God. What has God said about you? Do you believe it? Do you believe it? If there is nothing serious about you, God will not make so much investment in your life. He will not give His bread. God will not send the quality people you have sent into your life. Look at the kind of people, wonderful people you are surrounded with. It's God showing you that you are very important. Look at what God is saying about you, not what people are saying about you. You are very important. Is that okay? Is that okay? Derive your self-esteem from the self that God has worked on. Not the self that Satan is fighting. The self. And even Satan is fighting you is also a sign that God is intentional about you, because it is a land that has treasure that the miners dig. Don't depend on others for your esteem. It's called self-esteem. Submit yourself to God first. First, self. Self first. You get this? Not others, not people. Then others. First, self. Self first before others. Change yourself. Correct yourself. Hello, self. You need to talk to yourself. Manage yourself. Feed yourself. Right? Then you will keep account for yourself. Keep account for yourself. This is called self-esteem before people esteem. Self. Feed yourself. Train yourself. Talk to yourself. Lead yourself. Submit yourself to God. And you will discover that yourself has been built to contend against external suggestions. To contend against external suggestions. Is that okay? It is a tree bearing fruits that sticks and stones are thrown at. Is that okay? You are a wonderful person. You are an amazing person. Accept that and surround yourself with people that encourage you. If you are always surrounded by people that always believe there's something you need to learn, there is something you're not doing well, it may affect you. Surround yourself with people that give you vitamins. I use that in metaphorically. That boost your motivation. People that say good things about you. I have people like that. Oh, speaking with them, you just want to fly. And there are people you meet that meeting them, if you're trying to trek to where you commit suicide, you have to take a flight because they would have pushed you for your suicide. Avoid such people with such negative energy. And if you have them, you can't do away with them. You just need to know how to build a very good self-esteem. Have you been able to get something from this? Share this. Let me see the things that stood out for you, right? Let me see the things. Share with me on the comment section and share this. Let your friends get to know about what is going on here. I want you to also share on different social media platforms. I am Pastor Steve Onaji, pastor of Social Fountain. We have centers around the nation and we're spreading around the world. Wisdom is a principal thing. Balance is power.